branch, one commit coming into master. Master is just going to show the point at which you merged the rebase branch in. Git pull. I think I have an alias for that though. Let me see. Do I? Yeah, I do. I have an alias for this. Git pull. Okay, so we still decided to maintain our merges, which is what we decided to do. So all you're going to see is you're going to see changes to master on the master branch. And let me just do show only master. And then I think I want to hide remotes. Let me see. Actually using this for the first time, so but that's fine. So now all we can see is we had changes to master, we had our feature rebase, and then we merged it back in here. So it sort of simplifies how the changes come in. We can just tell that a branch was created and that did. Now this is a matter of preference, but some other teams I've seen don't even use a merge commit here. They don't even do a merge commit here. What they do is they rebase the feature branch again back onto master, and then it follows that single line. I personally, and this is a personal preference, prefer to have a merge commit into master. Like every time I merge something into master, I want to have a merge commit telling me this is it. But I just don't like these tiny other commits and then this dirty stuff and then merging master back in and going in, so it gives it dirty. This is a much cleaner flow for me. You have your commit, you branch it off, you created your comments and you merge the backend. So if we were only to even look at, I'm not trying to show why this doesn't filter. Just use this today. So, well, I guess we'll just show that. So once you do it this way, you just have a cleaner commit. So you have one commit in, one commit out. You don't have mastering and all that like we have at this point before we merge back in. Now the rebase. Let's see. That was something I promised when we were talking about showing you. So let me see rebase. There was an article I read recently. That would be good. If I find it, that would be great. Oh, there's a really good article I read recently. I wish I had bookmarked it for you, but I don't have that. But let's just look at Git rebase squash. That's the way people would always do like a normal squash. Instead of doing rebase interactive minus head with all that, you can just do like an easier way with the beginning, and then you go in. So this uses the same strategy I used, the last 4 commits on the head. Let me see if there is an example of what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, you'd want to look into learning a bit more about rebase. So one of the things about rebasing is that if you do a rebase and then it's rewriting the history and you face a challenge like a conflict, what would happen is Git would stop and then ask you to resolve that commit. And once you resolve that commit, you're going to run Git rebase continue, and then it's going to continue the process and then continue rewriting your history. So that's one of the things you have to know. Is it this? I really hope it's this article. No, it's on this one. Ah, horrible. Um, yeah. Ah, Yeah, I think this is it. So you just do, instead of doing head tilde with a number, you can just say all changes since master. So that's the other one. I don't use that often. I generally specify how many I want to rebase. So I don't. Now let me see if there is another example I wanted to show you. Oh, there was something I wanted to do again before. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Good. Let's look at some of the things you can do with Git rebase. So, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some changes here. We're going to have line 3. Um, real quick. Change 1. And then we're going to have line 4. Change 2. Okay. So if we do Git rebase and then we do minus interactive and we do master, this would, instead of specifying head 2, so this is what we have, I could have done this as well. And then it will give me the same thing. The difference being with, by specifying that you want to rebase since the last change from master, you wouldn't have an issue like trying to remember how many changes you've done. But if you constantly squash your comments, then that's fine. Now, let's do something here. The first time we did this, we did a fix up. The difference between the fix up and the squash is when we do a fix up, okay, hold on. Let me abort this. Okay, let's do 9, 5, and then change 3, I think. Okay, so let's do this again and see what the difference between a fix up is. So if we say we want to fix this up and we want to squash this, would that work? I think what's going to happen is by fixing up change 2, we just add change 2 to change 1, and then it would lose this commit message. But if we squash change 3, what would happen is that it would take multiple, the different commit messages and then put them together. So let's see what happens when we do that. So you notice that I asked that to confirm what our commit message is, and it says commit 1. The commit message number 2 is skipped because that was a fix up. And that's change 2. This is a commit message. Change 3, then change 3. Everything that's commented out won't appear in your changes. So when I save that, what we're going to have is git log. We notice that our commit message now looks like this: change 1, change 3. And that's the where are we? What's that called? Rebase stuff. So you notice that our commit message says change 1, change 3. And then that's the whole the difference between squash and fix up. Squash and fix up are essentially the same, but then fix up removes the commit message and squash adds them together. It depends. It's almost generally a personal preference, and then you do what you want to do. Now, there's a caveat to using the technique we used here, git rebase master. So what we'll do is we'll check out master again. Let me check if I have any messages. Okay, no messages. So once you have this, let's see. Okay, so let's make some changes to master. Let's go back to readme and then make some changes. Okay. Jesus Christ. Have to mess everything. Everything needs to be messed. Okay. Let's try to rebase based off master again. And then yeah, that's fine. Okay. Discard that and that's it. Anyway, so those are our changes for today. Next week we're going to be looking at actually setting up some stuff to work like actual build pipelines to work like this. When we make a change to a feature branch, what should we do? When we make a change into, when we merge into develop, what should we do? When we merge into master, what should we do? Stuff like that. So we're just going to play around with some stuff like that. I'm not sure we're going to set up anything on Git on Kubernetes yet. What we're instead going to do is maybe just publish something to Netlify or maybe even GitLab pages. Yes, I think maybe GitLab pages would do. So we can just use that to demonstrate the build pipelines and how to set up the build pipelines. If you've been following me thus far, thank you very much for tuning into the stream. It's been nice having you on, and see you next week. Bye bye.